appreciate your own weaknesses. So much that you need the synergy. You need to be complemented by the strengths of your partner, whether in the office or even at home. I read of a story some times ago of some 4 people who were convicted on murder, and they were to go to the guillotine. And 4 different personalities. Unfortunately, or is it fortunately, the guillotine machine failed. Now, maybe this might give you the message I want to say about how we behave. And the choleric was the first guy, and when the guillotine machine failed, he started to complain. Hey, look, I always knew I was not wrong. You can even see God is confirming. You guys were sending me here innocently, because choleric is naturally argumentative. Then the melancholy comes and says, oh my goodness, what is the efficiency of this machine? He begins to compute. Why did it fail? What could have gone wrong? What will happen to the executioners? What will happen to them now that they did not do their job right? And he's in deep thought. Then the sanguine comes, the machine fails. Hey, let's go partying, man! We are free! You know, they are we people. It's not me. He was condemned alone, but we are free! Let's go, let's go, let's go. Then comes the phlegmatic, who is relational oriented, sympathizes with these people. Oh, I'm so sorry. I knew it was not your problem. It was the government fault. I'm so sorry for you guys. I'll keep in prayers. Keep in prayers. I don't know how I'm describing this. Are we following? What I'm going to do, I don't know how I think we have pens here. Now, the left side, they're both extroverts. Let's first make the difference very clearly. The choleric and the sanguine are both extroverts. That's why some theories call them type A temperaments and type B temperaments. But then, let's make the difference between the two. The choleric will start one project to its logical conclusion. That's the choleric. One project until they complete, and they focus on that one thing. Now, the sanguine will start 10 projects but never finish any. They're always excited. Every new idea is tested by sanguines, from quails to pyramid scheme. They jump into the swimming pool and then find out whether it was really a swimming pool. They are the ultimate risk takers. Now, the choleric does not fear risks, but he will first do his homework right. A sanguine requires only a testimony, just a testimony. And that's it. They don't do their homework. They don't do their homework. Now, these two, melancholies and phlegmatics, are introverts. They're introverts. Now, the melancholy is schedule-oriented, and they follow programs, and they stick to that. They love details. They want information. The phlegmatic is the observer and the watcher. In fact, if I was to tell you only 3 things, if you may only remember 3 things today, only 3 things, I'll call it PLO, personality, leadership, and orientation. This is the doer. In terms of the leadership, the controlling leader. In terms of orientation, goal-oriented. Melancholy, on the other hand, in terms of personality, is a thinker. In terms of their leadership, they are the insecure leaders. They're suspicious about what the other people are doing. In terms of their orientation, they are schedule-oriented. They believe in planning. The sanguine, if you must remember only 3 things from it, in terms of their personality, they are the talker. They are the compulsive talkers. They will never keep quiet. In terms of their leadership, they are the undisciplined leaders. In terms of orientation, they are stage-oriented. They are on performance mood all the time. The phlegmatic, in terms of the personality, this is the watcher. They would rather see things happening. In terms of their leadership, they are the reluctant leaders. In terms of orientation, they are relational-oriented, meaning they believe in relationships and they don't quarrel anyone. The choleric can stay late, whether out or working. The melancholy believes night was created for us to sleep. They work during the day. The sanguine is the party animal, and they brag about it. In fact, they will tell you they cashed until 4 a.m. and they're in the office by 8. And they talk with a lot of pride. Even, they go to visit Kisumu town and they're going for a workshop. And before they reach the workshop, they have said hi to 10 people. Every city, they have friends. They have a lot of contacts. More than their phone book. They forget where they were going. The phlegmatic is the best homemaker. Because they don't like exaggerating anything. So they'll go to work on the time given and be home at the time given. Where they have agreed. They are very good in raising children. The choleric matches with the phlegmatic. That's the most natural. Let me tell you, never sit down if you're single to plan about that. You don't need to. You don't need to. It just comes out. This is how it works. If a choleric goes for a date with a sanguine, they don't go for the second date. That girl, if the choleric is a man, the girl has too many stories, and the choleric is there to tell you, and you can't give them a chance to tell you. So they don't come for the second date. So if you hear you're single, you don't need to think about this. It is the natural thing. It just kicks it away. And because melancholy is so disorderly, without their knowledge, they are attracted to the sanguine who brings some life. That is the most natural. Now let me explain this. If by any means, in the most unlikely event, a choleric gets married to a sanguine, they need to build their house near a police station. Okay? In the unlikely event, these two get married. In the unlikely event these two get married, and this can happen, you can have a number of percentages, perhaps less than 10%. The challenge is they will never take any risk. And what happens is that if these two groups get married, by the end of their life on this planet, believe me, they will have a car, they will have a car house, they will have taken their children to school and wait for the life after. They never initiate anything. So for life to be very normal, you find a choleric getting married to a phlegmatic because this person will follow. The problem is when the choleric is a woman. In the African context, wanasemaga mzee amelaliwa. Because when the choleric is a woman and the phlegmatic is a man, the woman runs the show. Because the man cannot lead. The woman has better ideas. Now, if the couple, the sanguine, is the lady, it works very well with the melancholy husband. She's very bored, by the way, very bored by this guy, because this guy is never excited by anything. But it works very well. But when the guy is a sanguine, he needs to look for prayer partners because she's suspicious. She's very suspicious about what he's doing. You see, he may not be doing anything, but the guy wants to stay late at night. And he wants to catch up with anything. I'm married for over 12 years. I also realized in my own marriage that I thought I'm happily married. And I believe this because I talk about marriage all the time. Many of you have heard me on TV talk about this and relationships. And one time I had to sit down with Mercy and say, look, I talk about temperaments. I talk about marriage to people all over the world. Can we sit down? Can we do a postmortem? And when she opened up, I realized I was a bully in denial. I didn't know. And I'm busy talking to people about marriage and about all things. But I realized I'm giving direction without requiring a lot of comments and inputs. And so I'm work in progress. I'm not discussing with you as though I'm above this. I'm affected by the same things. Are we communicating? Yeah, I'm one of you. I'm affected by the same thing. So it's something we are working on. At the same time, however, there is a tendency of phlegmatics not being very supportive.
Can you have one strong at the beginning and then at some point the other one overtakes?
What happens is this. I'll give an example of public speaking. They're very good public speakers who are melancholies. But because public speaking is a public job, a lot of people tend to think they are either cholerics or sanguines. But the truth is, they are still melancholies. And how to know them is this. If a melancholic came to do a presentation here, they would have come up with PowerPoints. And they are very orderly and very organized. There are two things you can't change in your life. You can't change your gender, you can't change your personality. And you can't change your IQ. Let me say this for the benefit of everyone who came here. Because there are a lot of people who think you can change your IQ. You don't change your IQ, whether you're 15 or 75. That's why sometimes you find a mkokoteni person more sharper than a university professor. If they are both involved in crime, this is a bad example. They know how to cover it up very fast. They might hit someone on the road, go to KNH, and never trace down what they did. I'm saying that's negative, but they will work their heads very fast. And you can meet a professor who is very slow, but they have the books. Amount of information you acquire does not change your IQ. The only thing you have the capacity to change is your EQ, emotional intelligence. We'll repeat that in coming days, but you cannot change your personality. You can change your EQ. As a result of changing your emotional intelligence levels, chances are people might see you slightly different. Now, the most weak people are sanguines. They follow the fun. They follow the crowds. They follow the crowds. Yes, if he's in the midst of other sanguines, he will definitely or she will definitely be influenced much, much more than this person. You'll actually find the choleric and the melancholy stubborn in following others. The melancholy will follow his schedules and what he believes, irrespective of the people around them. If we had a sanguine who has mastered this topic presenting, we will definitely be making you people more alert. They're very interesting because they'll be throwing funny topics. But they will throw funny topics, topics of toilets, topics of anything. I mean, they don't care, you know. Then you'll find the melancholy, as you're saying, you'll easily sleep, but you'll have the notes. And there'll be many, because they're concerned with how many notes you have. They'll give you 200 PowerPoints. They'll have many points. Now, this person here, public speaking, even if you give them a chance, they won't come. They will not turn up for the meeting. Usually, a very strong phlegmatic, very strong, they will not like that. They will not like that. What they do, they read notes. They like notes. Did you see how President Kibaki was doing? Notes are the best for them. Notes are the best for them. They don't want to make speeches anyhow. It's not very easy to make speeches for Honorable Raila. It's not very easy. He can easily do away with them anytime, even after you act for them the whole night. You can work and work, give him, and he ignores them. And even Obama does that. The good thing with melancholies, when they make the notes, good melancholies will come with pictures. They'll make it graphic. Yeah. So the truth is, all these people can lead, all these people can do in a career, you work on yourself. I want us to end there.